Welcome to All Caps. It is the day after the Warriors defeated the Celtics at home on top of Lucky's head. 103-90. Congratulations to Steph. You can see how much it meant to him. Congratulations to Klay. Congratulations to Draymond. I'm sure this is going to be one of the highest rated podcasts that he's done yet.
Here to present the Larry O'Brien Trophy to the Golden State Warriors, to team owners Joe Lacob and Peter Guber, and head coach Steve Kerr, is NBA Deputy Commissioner Mark Tatum.
No!
A phenomenal series and a great way to cap off the 75th
Notice
NBA
his joy is
anniversary
exactly the
season.
same as when he pulls the Knicks
So the
card after they underperform in the fucking draft lottery. It's the exact same amount of joy. And all of that aside, all the jokes aside, I want to be serious for a second. Mark Tatum, one of the great Asian Americans that we have, he is the deputy commissioner of the NBA, but he is not the commissioner of the NBA. That is Adam Silver, who is out with COVID. And according to the bylaws and the Constitution of the National Basketball Association, which was codified in the mid-40s, only the commissioner may hand over the Larry O'Brien trophy, or it was a different trophy at that time. But over the years, the commissioner hands over the trophy, and once it's passed from the commissioner to the ownership or whoever the representative from the team who won is, then that team is legally seen as the NBA champion for that year. Meaning, because Mark Tatum, the deputy commissioner, handed over the trophy, this is not a legally binding championship. I don't know what they're going to do about that. Obviously, they're going to hang the banners, but I think when you look in the record books and when you look at the stats on NBA.com, you're going to find that the stats are going to look weird. They're going to be grayed out. There's going to be an asterisk there. I'm not sure how they'll handle it, but legally speaking, we have no NBA champion this year, and that's because Mark Tatum is not the commissioner. This is the law. Like, Adam Silver should have toughed it out. He should have grinded it out. I mean, you saw, Jason Tatum out there having a bad series. He never just was like, well, I'm not going to show up and do my one legally constituted duty. You are the commissioner of the NBA. You have literally one legally binding duty, and it is to hand over the trophy. You should have strapped on like a full astronaut suit and fucking handed it. Actually, he would have had to have the gloves of the astronaut suit off. Your skin has to touch the trophy, and then it has to touch the skin of the person who is actually taking it for it to be legally binding. But the fact that Adam Silver wasn't here to do that is really concerning. But as of now, we have no NBA champion.
To Joe Lacob, to Peter Guber, to Coach Kerr, to Bob Myers, to all you great players, the coaches, and the entire Golden State Warriors organization.
I love when they give it to the owners. It's so great. They did so much.
the richest tradition in sports.
Bob Myers is in that layup line, getting them up.
Yeah, it's like, stretching them out, getting those hammies warm for everybody. That's an ugly cry, too. We've never seen Steph emote like that. You could just tell how much it meant to them to finally get, a championship that counts, not like the ones with Kevin Durant that they've been trying to undermine all season. And you could just see how much it meant to them.
He's an NBA Finals MVP. The 2022 Bill Russell NBA Finals MVP award goes to Stephen Curry.
What if they would have given it to Wiggins? That would have been funny. It was Andrew Wiggins and his rebounding and his defense on Jason Tatum that turned the tide. Yes, that was great, but if you look at the full picture, it would have been so fucking funny if they had done it. They just doubled down on nerding out.
If you ask Zach Harper, he believes very strongly that Andrew Wiggins
I know there's many people who, honestly, let's put it like this. I believe that Andrew Wiggins is more deserving than Andre Iguodala was, 100%. That is a fact.
1920 season after Klay Thompson suffered that devastating injury. Curry only played 5 games. They win 15. And then last year...
when they talk about, worst record in the league to this, no one's ever done this, that didn't just happen. That was kind of on purpose also. They were going for the bottom of the standings, trying to get as high a draft pick as possible. They weren't trying to win those games. So let's just, pump the brakes on that part of it being historic.
Yeah, that was, a very efficient tank. That was how tanking should work.
That was a clean tank.
Yeah.
That
was a micro tank. It was like the way that BBC does TV shows. It's 8 episodes, 2 seasons, and you're out of there. That's how teams should tank.
The Warriors didn't even play with their #1 pick that they tanked for.
I know.
He didn't play.
All their young guys could not find the court.
Congratulations to the Boston Celtics, the Eastern Conference champions, on a terrific season.
Hey, man, he would put Put a little petty on a terrific season. Fuck you, Mark Tatum.
The true petty king.
You fucking asshole. Congratulations once again to the Warriors. You mind-fucked everybody this entire postseason, Steve Kerr. You coded the Grizzlies. You labeled them as code breakers, and you fucked them up mentally. Great job by Steve Kerr, one of the great coaches that we have. Congratulations once again to the Warriors. 2022 asterisk champions.
Shout out Mike Brown on your way into...
Shout out to Mike Brown.
Total anonymity.
Bye. Yeah, right. Shout out to Mike Brown, who almost fumbled the bag in the middle of this playoffs and nobody remembers it, but that's fine.
I mean, obviously it would have been better if we won. Didn't happen, but I think we're still a good team going forward. I think there's 28 other teams in the league that would trade places with us in a heartbeat. I think Tatum's going to bounce back. I think this will probably be a learning experience for the team. They needed to level up to that next thing. They got to the Eastern Conference Finals a couple of years. They hadn't made it to the finals. They got to the finals. I think a taste of that is going to probably help them going forward.
What is this corporate mic we got after they lost?
I know. It sounds like the quarter 4 returns underperformed.
I mean, I've always been pretty rational about this team, and I don't think many others have been. I think even during the December, January stretch where we were playing like absolute dog shit, everybody wanted to blow it up. I was against that. I did think maybe EMMY might not be the right fit. I was wrong about that. I think a rookie coach making it to the NBA Finals in his first year, pretty good. Year 2, probably better.
Well, Mike, safe travels and congratulations on a fine season. Sorry that it ended in disappointment in such a way.
What can you do?
In legal news, the fake Klay Thompson has been banned for life from the Chase Center. The Golden State Warriors have confirmed that fake Klay Thompson, all capitalized, has indeed received a lifetime ban from the Chase Center. In a statement to SF Gate, the team said he impersonated a Warriors player in a deliberate attempt to access unauthorized area within the Chase Center, yada, 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 yada. So here is what he did. What really happened here is fake Klay Thompson got a lot of security people fired. He fucked their bags up on the eve of a recession. That's what he did. Now, you might say that, okay, it's actually good because it shows like how lax the security was and maybe they need to shake things up. But when you impersonate a player and get in, someone's got to pay the price. And it's not just going to be fake Klay Thompson. It's going to be, I guarantee you, people are getting fired because of this shit. Let's watch it.
Go into the locker room if we wanted to.
Okay, so here is his statement. Technically, I did not trespass. I talked to security, went through metal detectors, and walked right into the building. They welcomed me with open arms. I also never claimed to be Klay. Stop. You're known as fake Klay Thompson. You've made a career of impersonating Klay Thompson. You're wearing Warriors gear, and you went out and signed multiple autographs on your way into the building as Klay. Then, as you're walking to the court to shoot around, someone, staff, security guard says, go get him tonight, Klay, and you react. You respond. Absolutely miss me with this. I never claimed to be Klay. What are you talking about? Just because you snuck in successfully does not mean you didn't trespass. You fucking moron.
You never want to start a letter off with technically anything. Like, I can't use technically with a cop. Like, technically, Mr. Officer. Like, they would beat my ass.
Yep, you're done.
Here he is posting then the dictionary definition of trespass. I technically didn't trespass. Now he goes double crying emoji. I'm also not mad at all. I get it. I infiltrated them twice. I would ban me too. So then I love that he I didn't trespass, but I did infiltrate. It's not, hold on, you can't charge me with infiltration. I never want to see this motherfucker again. I hope his career as fake Klay is over and he has to actually get a job doing literally anything else. Joining us now, you know him as DragonflyJonez on Twitter. He is a co-host of Jenkins and Jones on the Volume Network. He's DragonflyJonez.
Happy to be here.
Kevin Durant is at home on social media as anyone ever.
Yes.
And you obviously made your bones on social media. So how does it feel to you to be going back and forth with him? Do you feel like you are the shark in the water, or is he the shark in the water?
I feel like it's a bubble game, maybe neutral floor. Right? Like I've said this so many times before, we have never seen an athlete this good, be this open and honest. And I love that about him. And you know, like when we go back and forth on and on Twitter, it's all love. There's no beef. There's no name calling. You know what I mean? It's just, you know, some hoopity hoop talk. So, you know, it's love there, man.
Now, he did say to you at one point, after you had quote tweeted him, hit him with a quote tweet regarding Kyrie. This is part of the Hooper versus basketball player debate. You ended with, I love Kyrie's game, but Hoopers love Kyrie's game. And then Kevin Durant responded with, because you a casual. Your thoughts on KD calling you a casual?
Look, I mean, I do not know more about basketball than Kevin Durant. Let's make that abundantly clear. Yeah. That he is a brilliant fucking basketball mind. Yeah. But I got these jokes. You know, motherfucking jokes. I got those on tuck for days.
Last week, you tweeted the conversation done shifting into leadership intangibles and shit. That wasn't the premise of my tweets at all. Premise of my tweets was very simple. KD struggles with making you pay for sending a double by passing out of it. KD then said, I think whoever I pass to has to make you pay, not the guy who's being doubled. What is going through your mind when you're going back and forth on Twitter with Kevin Durant?
I'm like, this dude is trying to Twitter kill me. You know what I mean? He is trying to sick the legion of Twitter trolls on me. I have had Twitter trolls in my mentions blotting out the Suns like the arrows in 300. Basically, it all stemmed from I said that, you know, someone said that the Celtics are the best defense of all time, which I was like, bro, for real, that's a conversation for another day, because I, for one, do not see why so many people are saying this. But I was like, every star who they went up against this postseason has 8. Right? Like Jimmy Butler had 2 40-point games. Giannis had 3 40-point games. Steph has been killing him. He averaged like 35. He had a 40 burger on him. And I was like, everyone ate against that defense this postseason except Kevin Durant.
Has he reached out to you at all? Like, obviously, Volume Network, you guys are legitimated. You came up organically through social media. And now you have a growing platform. There are various connections through people on that platform to KD, I'm sure. Has he reached out at all offline?
No, not at all. It's some Twitter frenemy shit. Like, KD follows me. We follow each other. You know what I mean? And shouts to KD for still following me, because I've been on his ass since that Boston series.
You have been.
I have. like everyone says KD is sensitive, he's thin skinned. He has been putting up with me dragging him into shit all postseason. So, you know, hats up to that man for that.
Dragonfly, thank you so much for joining us.
It's been a pleasure, man. Shouts to all caps.
Are you a fan of all caps? If you are, you should know this by now, that Underdog Fantasy's Pick'em game is the easiest, most fun way to spice up your season. Just pick over or under on your favorite or least favorite player stats, and you can win up to 20 times your money in a single night. Just pick between 2 and 5 players, and you could take home some cold, hard cash. Use code ALLCAPS, ALLCAPS. Get your first deposit doubled by the Underdog. Sign up and play today. Former partners in professional life, Skip Bayless and Stephen A, apparently have beef. And again, can't fucking get over Skip Bayless's set. It looks like, do you remember the cult who believed the Hale Bopp comet was like alien spaceship that was coming to take them? That's what the background of his shit looks like.
Before I say what I'm about to say about Stephen A. Smith, please know this.
I think Skip's plastic surgeon, the way he's tightening, I think what's happening with Skip is that they're taking all the skin and then pulling it down like that so it tightens, and then rolling it into these little lines that are like goggle lines, like on his cheekbone. I think everything is going right there, and they just tighten it right here, and then they take like staples and they just cinch it. That's what I think's happening.
And no matter what happens from this point forward, I will always love the man.
Gotta stop. When they go to the other camera that's on a fucking dolly, like, what the fuck are we doing?
Why do we even need to see Skip Bayless? Like, why can't he just be like an animatronic puppet, like a Billy Big Mouth Bass fucking mounted to the wall?
And she knows Stephen A. very well. Maybe even better than I do in some ways. But Stephen A. made some statements on JJ Redick's podcast that made several people...
What is this? What are we trying to do here? Like, I'm overhearing Skip, like, at a restaurant? What the fuck is this camera angle? Is this just like, hey, look, not bald? Like, is that what that is?
Stephen A., how dare you? So, look.
Okay, what?
If Stephen A. had just blurted out what he blurted on that podcast and it had come and it had gone, maybe I wouldn't have chosen to fire back on my podcast.
Wait, if Stephen A. had just said what he said and it had come and it had gone, maybe I wouldn't have had to respond? What does that even mean?
If JJ's podcast was worse, no one found out
Right,
about
if
it.
JJ's podcast was a smaller, like if he had said it on a smaller podcast, maybe I wouldn't need to talk about it. But since he did it on a major, big-time podcast, I guess I have to fire back on my podcast.
JJ gotta have Skip on now.
Does he? Skip, wishing you the best. Here is Shaq trying to get laid by any means necessary. Shaquille O'Neal pays tab for entire restaurant after date with mystery woman. I'm either having sex with my date tonight or somebody else at this fucking restaurant. This is a mistake because now anytime you see Shaq like in a place and he's there with a date, I'm gonna just be like, give me all the shit. I want what's the top shelf everything you have. Yeah, like speaking of Shaq, here's Grant Hill with a Shaq story.
I'd have showed up like when practice was over. The veterans brought you in the locker room. And they put him in a chair, one of those like swivel chairs that's on wheels, and they're starting to talk to him, and you know, you can't do this, and blah blah blah, and then they just duct tape him to the chair, and then they wheel him into the showers and turn the showers on, and then Hedo Türkoğlu was like, let's pee on him. And I'm like, no.
Hedo Türkoğlu is on some wild shit. Like, Hedo Türkoğlu taking it to Russian pornography level of let's piss on this guy. I enjoyed Hedo Türkoğlu's career. I'm glad he's out of the league and we can't have him near the NBA anymore. This is fucked up and it's wrong. He's on some wild shit.
If that was his first go-to for JJ Redick, he's pissed on a player. There's a player out
100%.
there that has been peed on by Hedo Türkoğlu.
Absolutely 100%. Hedo Türkoğlu pees on people. That's his first, off the bat, first thing is like, let's piss on this guy. I guarantee you he's peed on people. That's it. Hedo Türkoğlu, stay the fuck away from everybody. Drake won his second SBL league, an amateur pro-am. It's an amateur, it's like a corporate league. What
Drake's made up league
has won its second in a row, back-to-back SBL league title, and here is Drake reacting.
What happened today, baby? What happened to Kyrie today, man?
I did what Kobe did in
That's
Game 7 against the Celtics.
That's what Kobe did.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Stop.
This is unbelievably corny, but also I would do this if I had this amount of coin, right? And we had a league that was just like our friends and shit and their companies, and we had a championship every year, and we played a season, and we had the funds to put a fucking like photo shoot background with a fucking champagne bottle popping, and you had we do this. It's so corny and lame, but we would do it. I would do this. Who cares? That would be so heartwarming. Where'd Aaron go?
Oh.
Hold on. You can't just like leave set.
I know, right?
I understand this is like very ad hoc and blah blah blah, micro budget, etc. We do this over Zoom, yada yada yada. We need some fucking professionality around here. You don't just leave set in the middle of a shoot. Dock his pay for the exact amount of minutes. There, okay.
Oh, you bet.
You can't. What are you doing?
Somebody went to the door. I had to open it.
There is no door.
There is no one outside.